Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lawrence, the host of the Leaders What podcast. Today, I've a back-to-back. I don't know how many times. This gentleman and his wonderful spouse have been on my podcast, Mr. Amir Cooper and Orit Cooper. They've been on for I don't know how many times. I lost count, but I love having these guys back to back because over the course of a few months since we connected back in June or July, we became like friends, catching up. One time, his son came with a guitar and singing, and we just joke all the time, just like family, friends. Absolutely amazing. And today, Amir is going to talk about something that changes life. A few years ago, he had a car accident, and that awakened him and triggered the awakening of his psychic abilities, and has been able to channel one of the Archangel. And we're going to talk about that, and he's going to share with us some examples of incredible results and transformation he's been able to achieve and help some of his clients. So it's going to be a very fascinating episode. And even last week, Amir was kind and gracious enough to do a channeling from me. He gave me a few tips, a few recommendations that really was like, wow, this actually makes a lot of sense. So anyways, I'm here with him today. Very excited. Amir, brother, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure's all mine. So tell us, first of all, for people who don't know you, we're going to talk about your business and all that in a moment. But as a man, as a human being, who's Amir?
I'm a person that many times really likes to help people. I'm always trying to find different options to do where looks like there's no options. Like, I'm always trying to be outside of the box. It's always a pleasure when someone coming stuck and suddenly after he's going out from a session, he have many options to do, or at least very realistic options about his life, about his marriage, or about their business and stuff like this. So for me, it's a pleasure to help people many, many years.
Absolutely. Go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
I can say maybe one more thing.
Please.
I'm doing many things. I'm writing books for children that are yet teaching them different things. Like, for an example, there's a book that I wrote called Box of Animals. And it's quite a long book. It's made for young children. And the reason I did it long is to deal with their patience, because nowadays they don't have a lot of patience to listen to anything. So I wrote this book in a kind of a detective style, that they need to discover animals that are joking around in a box that a girl got. So it's teaching them to listen, teach them humor, teach them patience, because if they would not have patience, first, they might have tough life. And also, as parents, we will not have good time with them. So this is one book I wrote. I wrote more than that. Maybe in another time I will tell you about that. I also do carpentry. I work in a very small tool workshop that I created, and I do toys for children mainly.
Wow.
And almost all the wood I'm using is recycled wood. Beautiful. Because I respect the trees that were cut. And when someone just throw even a chair to the garbage, I would come with a saw, cut parts that can be used, and then I'm showing the kids that I'm working with, volunteeringly, I'm showing them that, you see, we can do many things from scraps, from nothing almost. And we respect the wood. We don't need to cut another wood for this. We can use things we just find in different places. So this is some stuff that I do.
Beautiful, beautiful. We're gonna dive deep into that in a moment. But so today we want to talk about your accident that changed your life. Tell us before we even talk about the accident, how was your life before the accident? How are things going, and what happened? What led to the accident?
Well, this was many years ago. I was a landscaper, and I would do special projects. For example, someone have a big office somewhere and there's no water, no supply of water, and they still want to have some green place to sit, rest from their work and stuff like this. So I will create a situation that I will bring a water tank with a computer that can deal with low pressure, because there's no water there. The only pressure I can have is from this water tank. And to build a computerized system that will irrigate the plants, the pots and everywhere there. And so the people could sit there and have good time. So I would do different special projects as landscaper, and this was very nice. I've done it for more than 10 years. And I'm still, by the way, have as a hobby raising or growing plants. And I give plants for people that do good things. So if I meet someone that do good thing, I'm giving them a pot that I grow here in the house. And usually people are very happy to have a plant, and I give them explanation how to take care of it. So this is what I did. And I was driving to a place, and there was a wasp that was inside the cabin. And I was driving and I didn't pay attention to the road because of that. And I went directly into a big truck with my truck. Wow. And this is how the accident happened.
So you hit the truck from behind, the front of your car to the back of that truck?
Yes. There was a serious damage, and I damaged my leg seriously, but I didn't pay attention to this immediately. And then I started to have more and more pains. In one point, I couldn't walk. So I had an operation, and I couldn't walk for about 6 months.
Wow.
But I remember in the house, I leaned on my knees on an office chair, and I would push myself with the healthy leg. I would push myself like crazy, would do dishes, cooking and everything. It was a kind of a wheelchair that I improvised in the house. So I was going from one place like this to another in the house.
Wow.
And then it started to be the thing that when I came after a long time to take the car, I started to see images. Images on poles, on electric poles. At the beginning, I thought that I'm seeing something that is not real, that something happened to me, but I don't drink wine, I don't do drugs, so nothing like this happened. And I saw these images, and they were talking to me.
Wow.
And I didn't understand exactly what they were saying, but what I discover is that I can see things about people and tell them things that helps them a lot in their life, things that they don't see themselves. And the first time it's really happened to me was at the mechanic that was fixing my car. He had a kind of an office that looks more like an apartment inside his tool shop.
Wow.
And he had some pictures at his back, and I was sitting there and I was asking, who is this people? And he was telling me, this is my father, this is my mother. He gave a few explanations about them. And then I told him that I have a feeling that his father didn't pay some money, that had some debt to some people. And he said, this is strange because his father died a year ago and he didn't know anything about that. So I left things with that, and I said, maybe you can check it. And the next time I came to him to pick the car, this was after the operation, after I healed and after everything, he said, I checked what you said about my father, and this was true. He needed to finish some payments to 3 people. and no one in my family knew about that. And I finished with this. I paid all the money that he owed them, and I very happy that you told me about that, because it's like cleaning the table and everything is okay, and you have nothing bad on his name, on his father's name. So this was the first time that I saw that I can see things for people that they cannot see themselves, or they cannot know themselves. So after that, people start to come to me to get different consulting, either for relations. Also came a businessman that was saying that he have very short time to try to revive his company. He had a big company of 660 workers. And he said, look, I have only 1 year of credit from the bank. After that, I'm collapsing. So I sat with him and like, I think 2 hours, and I gave him, through channeling, I gave him a full plan. Who are the people he could trust? Who are people that are giving their, I would say, their confidential information to competitors? Who are people that are can help him to plan the future of his company, and how to change the positions of different people so the company will function in the best way.
I have a question, Orit. Sorry to interrupt your time out. So when you said, first of all, you were helping that man to about his father's debt, and then this businessman to help him identify the people that were helping him, the people that were working behind his back, were you able to just tell him in general terms, were you able to actually identify the people, for example, for the first gentleman that his father owed money to, were you able to maybe not give him the names, but give him some kind of description, like, for example, your neighbor, or this guy working in accounting, or this guy working whatever? Were you able to give some clear description for the guy, or just tell him for these people, or just tell him in general?
I first case with this mechanic, I gave him not the name of the people, but I told him it was a neighbor and it was someone else, something like this, okay? And with the business guy, I asked him for names of people, and for each name of a person, I could tell him exactly what this person fits, if he can trust him, and what job in the company would be the best and for him. And also, I gave him a description of who are people that are, let's say, good enough or have imagination and creativity to sit together and have a team of reorganizing the company. And later, I discovered that this guy was, as I said, his company had only 1 year to survive from the bank, and he actually did the plan that I gave him. He changed positions of people, and he also fired around 200 people, made it much more efficient, the company. And his company became one of the biggest companies in his country in what they've done. So I was helping many people, like I said, businessmen, relationship, because so much information the angel can give when he's trying to help people. So it's amazing. Yeah, I was very happy that I could help.
Absolutely. Wow. And when you were able to help this businessman were you able to help him save his company?
Yes, I'm saying his company, he did all the things that he got in the session, all the plan that he got. He fired 220 people, I think.
Wow.
From 660 to 400 and something. And I remember that I looked very surprised to see that his company became, after a few years, one of the biggest company in their territory. It was, I'm not saying the more details. I don't know if the person wants to, that anyone will recognize this thing, because not every CEO would like to expose.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, but by the way, it was very interesting because at the end of the session that I had with him, he gave me more money than what I asked. He said, "Look, you gave me so much valuable information. I will give you more money." It was
so,
very
but okay, that's good. But when you saved this business, did he give even more money to as a thank you?
no, no.
Or at least a thank you?
Yeah, no, yeah, but it's okay. Look,
No, I know.
The thing is that I can, like, for a business person to take a company to give them advices, it will cost thousands and thousands of dollars.
Sure.
And with me, it will be much cheaper and to the point. So I'm giving this.
Kudos for him, because not many people, especially at high position of power, can actually look into that way to find solution. Because if anyone knows about it, they will be, they will be ridiculed. They'll say, oh, have you lost your mind? Are you crazy? What's wrong with you? So they will, of course, they will not mention that, but even for them to even dare to go there. So kudos for him and anyone else. Wow. Amazing. So tell us more about the level of your psychic abilities and what exactly you mentioned, that you're able to at first sees things, and then you're saying also that you're able to channel an archangel. So tell us more about that.
This is a very interesting process, because many times when someone is asking me a question and the archangel is answering me, I sometimes hear kind of let's say behind the scenes talks that they have, and it sounds like no, very quickly, like really they're checking so many things. Like, did you check this? Did you check this? Did you check this? Did you check this? What about this? What about this? And they do many things, because it's a team. It's not only this archangel, and they're checking so many things about the person, about their business, or about their life, or anything that is being asked. And it's amazing. And then I hear it in a few, it's kind of coded. Like, if I have to be very carefully listening to it. I cannot do multitasking. I cannot do this. I have to do only that, to be very concentrated in doing it. And it's fascinating how they're checking for us what will help us. And also, it's interesting because they are trying also to give answers from, in many cases, not always from the per-birth agreement that we came to do on this planet. Because many people ask themselves, why did I came to this planet? Why did I come to this planet?
Sure.
And I think it's a very important thing to know, because if you know why you came, what is here for you to do on this planet that will be interesting for you, that you could be good at, this is an amazing thing.
Sure.
The fact that you succeed in something, it doesn't mean that this is what you need to do. And many people that came to me, they were not on what they're supposed to do. And then there's an adaptation. Like, for example, what you have, for example, was about the art thing that can balance and can help you carry good energy and have good energy in your life. And if you do just, let's say, the business side or something, it will not be balanced. So it's important to have this information. It gives us a chance to have much more energy, much more clarity in our life.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow. So prior to you having this accident, did you believe in that? Were you spiritual, religious? Did you believe in psychic abilities, the paranormal?
As I said, I was always someone outside of the box. I don't know if I was specifically spiritual, but I can share with you, I have an aunt that lived in another city. And well, this was about more than 50 years ago. And I remember that I would talk to her on the phone, no cell phone line, phone, you know, old style, you do like this, you dial. And I remember that we would play telepathy games.
Wow.
I would tell her what she dressed, and she would tell me if I'm right or not. I would tell her what does she do at that time, and she would tell me if I'm right or not. I would ask her what color she on her clothing or whatever, and she would give me details on that, and I would be right in about 90% of the cases.
Whoa.
Yeah, and this game was for many, many years between us. And thinking backward, this is actually was in a way a preparation for this thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I remember that many times I would feel what people would not tell you about. And
when they're hiding something, you can see read their minds and see their intentions.
Hiding. Yes, hiding, or not necessarily hiding, maybe inside themselves, not feeling to share anything with anyone, sometimes depressed. And I would feel that, and I would come to them in many cases, and I would try to help. And till today, many times I like to joke with people. I never laugh from people, but I make jokes that makes it happy thing, you know.
Sure.
I can give you an example for that.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, because I like to do sport. I was a manager of a volleyball team for 7 years. It was fun, but it was a big challenge. Anyway, to work with people, it's challenge, but it's fun also. So I remember I came to a bike shop, and because I wanted to do some sport and also to do my errands, and I like, if I can move myself, it's better, you know, rather than, you know, be on the chair, you know.
Driving, I know.
Couch potato, whatever. Anyway, so I came to this guy and I asked him, do you have a rack that I can put the bike on the car and then go to the city and ride in the city? And he said yes. So I started to say to myself, he was very depressed, this guy. And I said to myself, I have to help him. And so I said to him, look, if I'm putting, how many bikes are this rack can take? He said 4. I said, okay, so if I put 4 bikes and put on them 4 people, which is completely crazy if you think about it, and I put 2 racks, I said to him, on the roof, because you can put rack for bikes on the roof also. So I had 4 at the back, 2 at the top. This is 6, okay? And another 5, it's 11 in the car, you know? So, and then I said I had on a basket on the bike with big fish that I just bought. I said, okay, now I'm going to the police station to get from them a license for a bus. I'm already a bus. I can carry on this car 11 people. So maybe now it's in this, I don't know if it's funny, but at the place when I was doing it was very funny, like completely crazy. What? Because no one can sit on a bike when they're on the rack of a car, you know. But I'm calculating and I'm going deep into it, and then I was going to the police and give them a fish as a bribe and stuff like this. So this guy, anyway, at the end told me I made his day, because it's took him away from, and he was really laughing. It was nice to see him. He was very tense with his face and was like this, you know, fallen, and then he started to laugh and be more alive, I would say.
Absolutely. You mentioned that you can read people's intentions. Do you play poker?
No.
You could be an amazing poker player, become very successful and rich if you can read people's minds. And
Yeah,
poker is
but
just one thing, you know?
yes, but I'm trying to help people with
Right.
that. Maybe I need to do it more. I don't know. Maybe I need to do it, but usually I'm trying to help people, and I'm not reading people's mind. 1 minute. Okay, I'm not reading people's mind in order to take advantage on them.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing it either to help them
Mm-hmm.
or maybe to defend myself,
Mm,
but not as a gossiping thing. Not, oh, I
sure.
wonder what. No, I'm not doing it. I have a lot of respect to people. I'm
Absolutely.
not doing
Yeah.
it just like that. Yeah,
You
yeah.
mentioned to protect yourself. Have you had any instances of you using your psych abilities to get yourself out of a risky, even dangerous situation?
Yes, many times. Like
Can you share one with us?
yes, I was driving a long distance in Canada, and I saw in Canada you have many deers, and there was one really big deer that was on a cliff ahead of me, and I had the feeling that he's going to jump. So I was driving very carefully, and I sent a message, "Don't jump." So
Mentally.
I passed on, and he jumped right after me.
Oh, wow.
And yes, and then I think the car behind me, maybe something happened to her. I'm not sure, but at least like the first thing it prevent me from going into a serious accident.
Sure.
I'm
Did
not
you,
sure. Yeah.
wow.
Yes.
Did you use your psych abilities to get yourself out of a tricky situation with other people?
In my regular life, I'm checking what to say, what not to say.
Mm,
Um, um, I have to tell you, it's from one hand, it's helping me, but from the other hand, it's also sometimes put me in trouble
mm,
because at least in some cases, people are not ready to hear what I want to tell them.
sure.
Yes, and I have to check very carefully. I have to check very carefully what I'm saying, who I'm saying it to, and if they're in any position of listening, or if they want to change something in their life, or their ego is so big that nothing that they will hear from anyone will change anything in their life.
Mm.
You know.
So
So
when you,
I learned I have to be very gentle.
sure. So when you started having this powerful gift of, channeling information, seeing things, did you get some kind of a warning from the Archangel to, just like what you mentioned, you have to be very careful because maybe the person is not ready for whatever reason, and maybe they're not ready to get this information. Did you get any kind of warning from them? Or is it something that you feel inside of you that, hey, maybe this person is not ready, or it's not the right time for me to tell that, whatever I can say to them at that moment?
If I'm not asking specifically about that, I
Mm,
don't get warnings. If
mm,
I'm asking about that, usually I think they will say this person is open to hear, or this person is not open to hear. But also my experience. I can share with you. Came to me a woman that it was in a psychic fair. Came to
mm,
me a woman that she was growing up. She was about 30 something years old. And she said, I wanted you will check if I have cancer in my body. So I scanned my mind, her body, and I drew her a drawing of of uh, where do I see that she have cancer.
mm.
Before that time I made sure that she's okay. She's a serious person. She's an adult for sure. And this actually didn't have a good happy end from my point of view. She didn't use me in the right way. I will tell you what's happened, because then she told me, look, what you did, and she didn't tell me this before I checked. She said, you drew for me where is the cancer, more accurately than what a medical exam did.
Wow.
Yes, but then later she became very angry with me, and she said I'm irresponsible person that to tell someone that he have cancer like that. And this, yes, and this phenomenon happened to me a few times in different variations. What I learned is that what's happened is that people don't like sometimes what you tell them, even though this lady could really use the information to save her life.
And because she asked you. It's
Yeah,
not
she
that you
asked
went
me,
to
and
her.
I
Yeah.
said, "Are you sure?" I remember also I told her,
Yeah.
look, because I can do it through the aura. I told her, look, I can feel, and this was a psychic fear. I told her, look, there's only very thin wall, only fabric. It was a psychic fear. I don't know if I can distinguish between your aura to aura of other people, but if you really want, I can try. So even though it was a lot of interferences, I still did it. And what I learned through the years, this called killing the messenger. People don't like the message, so they are angry at you. They shout at you for what you told them, and it's not anyone's. It's not my fault or anyone's fault. This is the situation, but they're angry about the situation. So I learned, for example, that in many cases, people that have cancer could be very angry or very frustrated people. I'm not judging them. It's not easy to be in their position, but also sometimes it can be very hard to work with them. No.
Wow. Wow.
So yeah. So I don't know if it's answering your question.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Wow. Amazing. So when you, but okay, you said since you were a boy, you had this game with one of your aunts to telepathically try to guess what she was wearing, what she was doing. But back then
Yes.
you didn't really understand. Did you understand what kind of gift you had, or you just tried to, for you it was nothing special? No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
But, yeah. No, but I was using through the years to support people. But you know, I never, and still today, I'm not going puffing my chest.
Sure.
You know, like I have a gift. No, more than that. I'm training people to be psychic for themselves.
Can
I
people
don't.
learn that?
Yes, you can learn it.
Wow.
We do a course that train people to do that. Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
As I'm saying, I'm doing it more than 25 years already. And I remember maybe 15 years ago or something, there was a very famous psychic in the US. Her name was Sylvia Brown. And I think this was her name. And she said in an interview that only her family members can be psychic or something like this.
Wow.
And I said to myself, I cannot quote her, okay? I'm respecting what you've done. I'm not saying anything else, but for me, it was triggering a point that I said to myself, no, it's not, it's impossible that only her can do it or something like this. And slowly I was accumulating information from the angel, how I can train people to be psychic for themselves and support their families, support themselves, and hopefully in an honest way. So this is one of the things that we do. We train people to be psychics, for example, I can give you an example where it's an amazing, where there is a woman that became pregnant, and I trained her, and she was able to talk with the fetus before he was born at all, and she would talk to him, and she would know what food he likes, what activity that he likes, and stuff like this. And think about it. She was when he was born. First, the birth was very easy. because she could talk to him, please be in this position, don't be with your butt to the front and stuff like this. And she was really talking with him. And I remember that after the birth, for years, she was talking with him before he was able to talk. Because think about it, boys can start talking maybe 2 years and up, not much before. So it gives a huge advantage that you can talk with your baby, with your kid, before he's able to talk. So, and it's an amazing information. And also she could know much clearer when he feels bad, what he needs and stuff like this. So there's very, very practical things in that, in parentship, with your kids, with your life partner. When you do a business, it can help in so many, many places, this ability.
How long does it take, for example, how long is your program, and how long on average, of course, each person is different, but on average, how long does it take for someone to learn to do that, to achieve that, to be able to speak to
a baby?
No, not the baby, but to whatever,
to channel or stuff like this.
Yeah, channel to the higher self and angel guardians and all that.
I would say it can take about a year and a half. It takes about 6 months to learn the techniques, how to raise the energy of your aura, so you are able to do that, and another maybe year of training, because each person have his own aura, and the aura gives messages. So when you raise the energy, the aura have a tool, have access to you. Because if you think about it, if you're in a room and someone is talking to you from another room and the door is closed, no chance you can listen to it. But if the door is open, if you're asking questions, if you're listening carefully, you could be trained to hear it clearly. And there's a way to do it. So each aura have her own personality, and she gives messages in a certain way. Now, you need to learn how to understand, how to interpret the information that she's giving. And this takes about a year of training after the course. And it's also, I think, very nice training that can change your whole life, because suddenly you look at how you bring energy and not just losing energy in different places, with relationship with family, with relationship with friends, with your partner. It's very, very helpful. Like in the company that we have, we created many families that came together of people that never thought that they're going to find anyone or get married. They didn't believe it's possible. And all of them are living many years together because they can use their aura to navigate in life, what to do, what not to do. It can even help with making love, what to do, where to touch, how long to touch. It's very, very beneficial.
So you help them to teach to raise their frequency, the vibration, and then find the person that matches the frequency, the vibration, and to get to them. So this is basically the simplified explanation of it.
Yes, and I would say also, if I can use what was this movie with this guy that have the wax in his ears, this green guy, Track, what his name? Anyway.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, so what's happened is that some people are so desperate, have such bad feeling, bad experience from previous partners, that they would not listen anymore. It's like, hey, they have wax in their ears. They will not be willing to try it anymore. Or there's some women, for example, that will go all the time with men that will abuse them. So they are not listening in the right way. They're not looking where they should look they're not feeling the warnings that this guy is not good for them. The other way around could be also. So with the aura, when you're working with the aura, you have so much things that you could learn more about what is good for you, what is not good for you, what would give you energy, what will take your energy.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so when did you, so you realized that you had this special gift? And then when did you realize you can actually channel an archangel?
It's happened one day in our house, and I just heard the voice in my head. He was saying, I'm here. I'm willing to work with you. He identified himself. I'm Archangel Orel. And he said, let's help people. And this is what I was starting to do. Like, I remember there was a lady that worked in a very big company that had at least 10,000 workers. I'm not exaggerating. It was a big company. And I remember she came and she would say that it's very hard to bring any decision to work out because there's so much political things in this company and different people are against each other, and it's very, very hard. So she would bring names of people, and Orel would tell her first Orel would identify that this decision is a good idea, what she's trying to bring, because she was in the management of this company, and he would suggest her, look, if you go this way, it could work. If you go this work, there's much less chance that you will work. And you need to talk with this person and to talk with this person, and he will guide her how to create the energy so this decision could pass and not be banged on the wall every day, every time, again and again. So she would come for a long time, this person for that. And it's helped her a lot. Yeah.
So when you started,
so many cases. I don't know if you want me to tell you more cases. I can tell you.
Yes, I'm interested. So when you first started hearing that voice, did you at first start, hey, am I going crazy? Am I being obsessed? Is this a evil? Is it a bad spirit?
No, I was very practical. I felt the energy, and as I said, I'm a person that helping people even before that for many years. And it was very natural for me to work with this with this angel. A bit before that, my wife exposed me to this thing because my wife was going to a person that was channeling, and she took me once or twice there, and this was a very nice experience, a very interesting experience, but also very frightening. I don't know if I want to talk about it today.
Up to you. You're the star.
I don't know. I know that we came to meditation that this person came at what was doing, and I remember that I was I felt I'm climbing on a huge ship on the rope, and I felt all the time there were forces that were trying to cut the rope, so I was trying to climb, and this was in the meditation.
Wow.
And this was not something that she was saying. This is what I was feeling when I was in this meditation. And then in one point I heard a voice, like I hardly made it because this rope was all the time cut by these images that I've seen in my imagination, and I came on the board of this big ship, and this was not easy just to climb on this rope, at least. Yeah.
Sure.
And they told me you passed the test, you can do it. And this was not much was not a long time before I was
Sorry,
hearing.
who told you that you made it? Was that the Archangel or was that
I heard a
the
voice.
meditation?
I
Ah,
heard a voice in the meditation. Yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah. Now, there's many people that hear voices in life.
Mm,
Many people have urge to do different things. The question is if what you hear, does it help you?
mm,
Is it supporting your life? Is it supporting other people's life? This is what matters. And
absolutely.
yeah, this is what I felt through the years, that it's really supporting people. Yeah. By
Totally.
the way, this businessman that came to me, that I talked about in the beginning, at the beginning he said, I came to you because of my wife. I don't believe anything about this bullshit. So I told him, look, I'm not taking it personally. It's okay. I can tell you what I see, and you could try it in real life and see if it works. But at the end, as I said, he was so happy about the plan because he couldn't believe it.
You
He
get
he
clarity.
told me, yeah, he told me a name of a person. Immediately, I told him where this person needs to go, what he needs to do in the company, and stuff like this, and many workers, not one or two. So you could feel when someone is clear and they know
Mhm.
what they're saying, you know.
Totally.
So
Wow.
yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah, sorry, yeah.
Wow. So when you started channeling, so the channeling, would it come at any moment, even when you say sleeping, eating with family, working, or was it you had to go into meditation, put yourself in a special state to get the channeling? How does that work for you?
Eh, You just I would drink also. Um, I, I would say something like this. At the beginning, I was all the time hearing voices, and I would go in the street. I remember we went into quite a nice neighborhood, and I was walking there, and my wife said, "Ah, it's nice buildings, nice atmosphere, and stuff like this." And I said to her, I cannot be here because I hear shouting. I hear what's happening in the houses inside, and I don't like it, and I don't feel comfortable.
Wow.
So the beginning, I remember I was overwhelmed. I all the time I heard things, and in one point I stopped it because I could not be exposed to it. I could become crazy. So learned, I stopped it. I didn't feel also comfortable hearing all these things. And only people that came for me for counseling, I would open this route and I would
So
listen to what I can bring to them, how I can help them in their life or their business or relationship or whatever. But you're absolutely right. At the beginning, it was overwhelming. It took
sure.
me time to learn to stop it and to okay, I'm listening only to this or stuff like this.
Can imagine. So when you said when you were walking that street with your wife and you started hearing noises on the voices, were you able to hear voices or things from where you were physically, or can you also hear about things on the other side of the world if you wanted to? And not only hear, but also see things, so you can.
Yeah, look, I could see things from the other side of the world if I need to,
Mm,
but usually when I go, I hear what people are near me are saying in the flats around in places like this. But it takes a lot of energy. I need to
sure.
keep life of high energy level. I have to take care of my family life, my wife, my children. I really have to respond the energy is going down. We're doing many things for having healthy lifestyle. And
Absolutely.
it's not, yeah, I cannot neglect things. And if I have to take care of my energy, because if I don't care of my energy, many people could be influenced from that. My family member, people that are coming to me. So it's responsibility to keep my energy high.
And also, if your energy is low, maybe you can attract some unwanted and bad spirit coming to you.
Yes, this is true. It's another part of learning how to avoid it or how to fight it.
Protect yourself.
Yes.
I'm sure you heard of remote viewing, right?
What do you mean exactly?
Remote viewing is a psychic ability that is used mostly by, the secret agencies of governments to see, for example, during the Cold War, say Americans had a team of remote viewers, very powerful, to see what the Soviets were doing and vice versa. Is that
Yes.
is that similar? What's the difference between what you're doing and, say, remote viewing?
Look, yeah, I had experience like this. I helped once the police to solve a problem that they had. Um, from what I know, it's helped them, but I didn't like the energy. I don't like this energy of brain fight and stuff like this. I'm where I can help people, but not in Sherlock Holmes whatever style or something like this. No, it's happened to me that people wanted help in these things, but these things I don't like to do. I don't like to put my nose in these things.
You want to do it for good purposes, for positive things, not for negative. I get it. Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Beautiful.
I didn't know if to share something, but maybe in another time. Yes.
Please share whatever you want to share. You always remember one thing: you're the star. I'm the host. You're the star. You share whatever you want.
I'm not the star. I'm just a human being that is trying to help.
Well, you're the
people.
star of this episode of this show. Yes.
Yeah, I can share with you. Came
please.
One person. One time, a woman came to us, and she had paralyzed her face. She had something in her nerves, something that her face would not move. She would not smile. She would not do almost any expressions. And this has really bothered her. And she came to Orel to a session, and Orel trained her. And believe it or not, at the end of the session, she was able to smile, to express, but only half of her face.
Wow.
So at the end of the session, she was very angry at Orel. She said, "You fixed only one side." So Orel told her, "I fixed only one side, but I gave you the way. I gave you the tool. Now you need to fix the other half and have a way to help other people with this method." So Orel is about, it's also our aura is about developing us, bringing us to the next step or the next steps. And it's helping very much, but you need to have some patience. You need to be able to listen. And I have to tell you that it's not easy, because many times I'm between the people and the angel. Because what can I say to a woman that is saying, "Look, you fixed one half of my face." And it was, by the way, I remember it was very strange because I cannot mimic it. I cannot smile or something like in one, I cannot do it. Okay. But she did it at the end of the session. She saw it. She felt it. She touched her face. She could feel the muscles moving. And it's like, I said to myself, what about if I don't want or I don't succeed to heal my other half of my face? Yes. Or what if I don't want to heal other people in this way. Like different questions came to my mind. So I'm many times between the angel and people. They or he give a way of what he can see that they can do, give them this thing, and they have to continue. And mine in the middle, like, what can I do? Like, I helped you to fix half. You know the way. Go fix the other half, and you have a career in front of you. This is, by the way, what was the end of it. She fixed her other half, and she had a career. But I don't know if she's not still angry with me.
Maybe you should contact her and say, "Hey, how are things?" You know. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So now, when you do your channeling, do you have like a special time each week, each day that you set aside for the channeling, or whenever you feel like the inspiration, you just start channeling?
No, I dedicate time for that. I also have to dedicate time for writing the books. Like another book that I wrote is it's called Connection Unavailable. You can get it on Amazon. Also, the previous book you can get on Amazon right now, but only in an ebook. We have a problem about printing it right now, but it's very nice. It's a provocative book, short stories. I think 6 short stories are talking about humanity with humor. Some of them are very funny, some of them are less funny, but all of them are very good for a discussion about what's going on with people in this planet. So I have to put some time for writing. Otherwise, the day is dissolving.
Oh, yeah.
And disappearing, and I don't write.
Absolutely. You mentioned that you wanted to share some case studies of people that you've helped. You only mentioned 2 cases, like the mechanic, the businessman.
This woman with her face. Yeah, I can share with you another case.
Yes.
It's hard to believe sometimes, but this is what you can do with the aura. With the aura, you can do so much more. And I started to draw the layers of the aura. We have around 93 layers or something like this, 97, depends of the aura layers. And the thing is that most people have no idea about the aura. They don't take care of it. It's the aura is suffering a lot from radiation, for example. So if you are having a lot of Wi-Fi in your house all the time, talking like this, putting your cell phone directly in your pocket, it's very dangerous to your health. There needs to be find a way to reduce the Wi-Fi and the radiation. Anyway, I can share with you other cases. So came a woman, and she was how you call this this disease in English? She would collapse in the street twice a week, and she would fall to the floor and will lose her conscious. And she was like this almost every time. You know, she can bang her head and she could lose her conscious and die. And she came to a hospital, and they told her there that the only way that they can help her if she will be hospitalized there for 3 months, to live in the hospital actually for 3 months in order to stabilize her life. I don't want to tell you how horrible it is to live in a hospital.
Oh, yes. Can imagine.
Okay. Yeah. So this woman, what's happened to her that when she came to me, Orel said, look, I can help you, but we need to work with the doctor in cooperation. And he checked what is the medication that she's having for these seizures that she has. And he said, look, I'm giving you energy exercise, and he gave her a few energy exercises, and he said, look, but you need to talk to the doctor if you can reduce the dose of this medication. He checked exactly what medication was made of, and he said, this is what, asked him what he can do. And the doctor surprisingly cooperated. And her doses were reduced, and she did this exercise, and her energy level of the aura came up much more, and she stopped gradually having these seizures. So she came to us having 2 seizures every week. And at the end, when we finished taking care of this part, she had 2 seizures in 6 months. So there was a very significant difference. This was a whole process of working with her relationship, with her life partner, with her kids and stuff like this. And you need to learn how to raise the energy and how to talk with the layers of the aura, because the aura is taking care a lot about the functions of our internal organs. Sure. People, maybe the only comparison that I can tell you is, for example, the meridian system of the Chinese medicine that is talking about different connections. So the aura have connections between the organs, and she's responsible on helping the organs to function. Like, people think it's easy for our body to survive and to flourish every day, but you need a lot of energy for that. You need also intention. Like, we're not just a group of organs that have no connection between them. There is a soul, and the aura is connecting between all these organs, talking with them, listening to them, and helping them. So it's a big thing. Totally. So anyway, this lady was really feeling so much better, and she have done so much things for other people. She helped other people in her profession. So I was very, very happy to help her.
Beautiful. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
What's next for you?
Next for me? I don't know, maybe
so you're writing books, you're doing channelings, you're doing consultation.
Yes, there is hopefully 6 books that will be published this year. All these 6 books, except for the 2 books I talked before, are children's book, and all of them are also doing training for the children.
Beautiful.
One of them is a beautiful book that is helping kids, for example, to separate from a grandfather or a grandmother that will die, something, how spiritually they can still be in contact with them. Very gentle book. There's a very nice person that drew the drawing there, and we're trying to be very gentle. There's another story, beautiful story about a king or a ruler of a kingdom that have a magical bird that helps him to rule. There's many, many ideas in these books, and I hope I could show you the books. So
I'd be happy. Yes.
Maybe in the next session, I can show the books.
Please.
And talk about them a bit more. Yes.
Please, I would love to. I'm looking forward to that. And when your books are about to go live, let me know, and I would bring you back to talk about them. That's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome. If someone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
There is the website is Hilora, but I need to give you the address immediately after that. I'm not sure because we changed the website. We have some problems with the computer. At one point, people were hacking and were destroying our website. We had to change the website. So yes, not all the people on this planet are trying to help others.
I know, unfortunately. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So exactly, we had to change it. So I have to tell you exactly, which is maybe I can call you in or in a minute or two.
No, you can give it to me. You can after, and I will put it on the show notes. So don't worry, it's okay. You can just say
They
the
were
name.
actually asking for money. They
Oh,
destroyed everything we had.
no way.
And then they were asking for ransom and it was a big thing with it.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
What hosting do you use for your website?
I think it was at the time, I'm not sure, but now I think I'm using Bluehost or something like this.
Okay, yeah. You got to be
Yeah.
careful. It happened to me like 4 years ago. I had a website. I hadn't even built it, just put the domain. I was using HostGator. And one day I tried to log in. I can't log in. I said it's been taken over by some independent, separatist movement from Turkey. So I said, what? Then I had to, thank God I had nothing on the website. I just put the domain, I parked the domain. I wanted to build it. Then I had to ask my friends and talked with HostGator, and they were able to figure it out. But wow, it's quite a scare. So you can imagine if you already have an existing website, all your content, all your contacts, it can be quite scary. Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Wow. Wow. Crazy world sometimes. On one hand, we are trying to do good to inspire people. And then just like you said, on the other hand, there are people trying to do not good things. Yes. But what we need to do is focus on the good so we can raise the frequency and help other people to the good. So together we can slowly make the world a better place, increase the amount of people doing good, and slowly the number of people doing bad gets lower and lower until we can, elevate everybody.
Are you still recording?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can share with you one thing that I like to do.
Please.
Yeah. I always try to have in my bag balloons.
Oh, wow.
Good balloons for kids. And when I go to supermarket or government things or places where there is a line of people, and many times there is kids that are crying and nagging their parents and stuff like this, I'm suggesting gently, if the parents, always the parents, if they want balloon, not to bypass the parent. I'm not giving it to the kids first.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Seeing that they are more than 3 years old, because otherwise it's dangerous. And many times it's just such a pleasure to see the big smile that emerging from a crying kid when they have a balloon. Yeah. And sometimes I even take a marker and I draw some faces on the balloons. And it makes,
yeah.
Yeah. And it makes kids and their families many times very, very happy.
Absolutely.
And it's a small thing. It can help the kids.
Sometimes the smallest thing or what matters the most beautiful thing, is bringing someone, making someone happy, making their day, giving them a smile, a reason to smile, or in your case, making crying young children to make them happy. That's the work of an angel. That's the work of enlightened soul. So beautiful for that. Thank you very much. That's amazing. I knew that you were a enlightened soul. You're a true leader with a heart. I salute you, my friend, my brother. Always a pleasure talking to you. Do you have any parting tips for anyone who's looking into that and interested into channeling or even learning or anything pertaining to finding and identifying their own laying and dormant psychic abilities?
I think people needs to be aware that there is something beyond the logic, that there is intuition, and there is a way to work on the intuition. And and if you have intuition in life, it can help you in so many territories, like finding a partner, life partner, a business partner, or how to work with your kids and stuff like this. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I've experienced it, and I'm saying if people research it more, they will have more tools, because just to have logic is one side, is one kind of energy. And if you could have your intuition near your logic, then you have a more balanced situation, and you can support yourself, your family, your business much more in this way. So people can come to our company and have different options of doing things if they want.
Beautiful.
Can write our website later or something.
Yes, send it to me and I will put it in the show notes. I like what you said, especially that there is more to than the logic, and I would say there's more to life and to the world that what the eyes can see. With our eyes can only see like 10% of what's going on, because there's so many spectrums that we can't even see, or the sound, the frequencies, all of that, the colors. We only see like 5 or 10% of what's available, what's out there. You know, so beautiful.
I can share with you maybe one last thing.
Please.
It happened a week ago. I was going, I was buying grocery in a store, and after me, there was a guy that was wearing workers' clothing. And he was holding, I remember exactly, he held on his right hand about 3 pieces of cheese. And on his left hand, there was 3 bottles of beer that he was holding all together. And he was holding something more in his hand I couldn't identify. And he was doing it like this, you know, on his chest and something like this, waiting that I will finish in the cashier with the cashier. And as I'm and I thought to myself, to help him, not to help him, but I didn't, because sometimes when you stick your nose, it's too much. So I didn't do nothing. But suddenly his cell phone rang, and his cell phone rang from his pocket. This I identify. I was near him, and the guy stood, and I said to myself, he's not answering, and because he cannot answer. So the phone rang for about 2-3 rings. Then I said, I have to do something about that. So I took his bottles one after one, so they will not break, and put them on the cashier's platform there. Then I took the 2 cheese, and then he took the phone and he answered, and he said, thank you. And after the conversation, and for me, this is, you said what I can say to people, this is listening. Care about the other person,
being aware,
try to help, yes, and see what you could do that will help them. So it's not just stood like this. Okay, his problem, you know.
Or the worst when you see someone in need, someone falling, someone in stress, people, even God forbid, even there's pictures of people dying. People just, not my problem, not my problem. Come on, be a human being. Help, you know?
Anyway, it was, by the way, I bought water for drinking in this grocery store, and he insisted of helping me after that. It was very interesting. Yeah. It was very, very nice guy. Yeah.
What was he trying to hide? What was he trying to hide?
This I didn't understand.
No, he said he was hiding something. He didn't want people to see what he was hiding across to his chest. No, I'm just joking. Forget. No, it's joking.
It was a joke.
I will tell you after off record what. Anyway, listen.
It was very, and you know, I don't want to say I can say his name. Never mind. His name was Curie, and he reminded me Marie Curie. That was a Polish scientist. That
Polish, yes,
very, very famous. She discovered the radium and other chemical value. And I remember that when she was learning, thinking the Sorbonne in Paris, something, not many women were accepted there. Anyway, she had an agreement with her sister that one sister is working and giving money for the other sister to study. And when one sister finished, the other sister worked and gave the money to the other sister to study. So each one supported each other at the time of study, and they kept their word of helping each other. I'm just sharing with you because when I heard his name, I said to myself, it's interesting that I remember this is a good example of people sharing commitment together, watching each other, keeping each other, and helping each other. It's a true story about Marie Curie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Absolutely. Listen, Amir, me and you, we can talk for hours. I love talking to you. I love listening to your stories, especially when it's not only funny stories, but also stories of actually helping and inspiring and doing good. I love that. My podcast is all about that. And I like, I like to have fun, I like to joke. I like to, take things not very seriously because I want to be happy, So with me and you, that's why we get along so well. Listen, I salute you. You're truly with a heart. Keep shining your light. Keep blessing the world with your presence, your impact, with your good, with your balloons, with your channeling, with everything you do. Stay safe, stay awesome. God bless you, my brother. We're definitely going to be talking soon again. Take care. Have a good day ahead of you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.